Yaki khubor ka bate si TV.
Ka umdi basnyam bat penjasliang. Rupa Premium Meghalaya.
Sophistication meets style. The stylish trendsetter Tata Curve SUV is in town. India's first coupe SUV is now in Shillong.
Lengba kapang take the right path lane shim ya kalenti ka badai ka Meghalaya AIDS Control Society kala panlong ya ka program ka ba job mantagasngi haga jingrakhi ya ka World AIDS Day 2024 kani ka day ka banta ka baar ya ka balapalong Hamadan Parking Polo u Dr. Joram Beda Commissioner and Secretary katanat ka koit ka khia ka sarkar jilla ulalong kum kongsan but u TG moment Joint Secretary katanat ka koit ka khia kum usambot kongsan. Laidon langru ka Dr. B. De Cruz, Director DHS Research, ka balapendap ya ka dor ba kongsan ha ka program da ka jingdon lang ka jongka. Kasedang ya ka program da ka jingrwai pediang sngobha ka ba penkemen ya ka donot ka balarwai da gi he jongka max. Ka balabu ya ka sur ka babha na ka benta ka ni ka nok phai sngi. Kajing yalang kalapan pau ya kajing job jong ka program penyada ya kajing pang AIDS jong ka Phase 5 lani ka NACP 5 namar lasam ya kajing ai burom sya ginong tray bakongsan ki bala don benta ha kajing ya khun ban pen priang ya kajing tip syapang uknyang jing pang HIV ka bala tip kum ka IEC house nem arajar arpusau da ka ba itu ya kajing IT ba jing no sinyang jong ki sya kajing pen sungtu syapang jing pang HIV AIDS Hadian kani labot sa ka program ka ba penki mensem ka bala pendap da ki jingruai ki ba ra ru ya ki khubor ki ba khlan jong ka jing ya teli bat jing kershan ya ki to ki ba im bat uknyang jing pang HIV
I cannot underscore the importance of creating awareness because many times it's due to innocent actions that leads to serious consequences. You are all aware about COVID. It had a very high case fatality rate. But then today, who remembers it? But a disease like, a condition like AIDS will remain for some time before a final cure is discovered. The question why HIV/AIDS is so much in focus and still relevant today is that it affects the underprivileged and the poor and the ignorant. Many times people jump into conclusions, prejudice about people living with HIV/AIDS, not understanding the condition, the situation in which he or she might have been through to get into that situation. And that's where we need to have compassion. What makes this disease so compelling to organize programs such as this, to organize awareness programs such as this, and also mobilize the whole government logistics to ensure the message goes into the society. One of the main reasons, the testimony was also given was about discrimination, about the kind of stigma that is attached with the disease, and the kind of emotional damage that one has to go through. And that is the reason why we always emphasize on creating awareness again and again. We have come a long way since HIV/AIDS was discovered in 1983. It's no longer life-threatening disease. A person living with HIV/AIDS can have a normal life so far as the CD4 count is kept in normal range, and we have the right kind of antiretroviral drugs to keep it under control. And that's a good news. But at the same time, we should ensure that there is a continuous dialogue and deliberation, especially amongst the peers, to know the dangers about the disease and how it spreads. It's very important that this deliberation and discussion should remain alive amongst the youngsters. As I mentioned in the beginning of my speech, it's mostly due to innocent actions that leads to serious consequences. And that's why the peers must always keep the discussions alive. Today we all know how the disease spreads. It's by the exchange of body fluids. But then it's not just an exchange of body fluids. There are various statistical chances of spreading through various modes. And the highest that I know of is the intravenous drug users, the exchange of blood. And that is where we need to focus a lot. This is a niche group which needs more attention. The casual talks between the peers that nothing will happen, this is brotherhood, let's exchange needles. These kind of innocent actions leads to very serious effects later on. And that's why the narrative has to be changed. I wouldn't like to prolong my speech. All I would like to say, let us resolve to act on the World AIDS Day. Let us resolve to support all the people living with HIV/AIDS, and let us also carry on the movement to ensure that the disease does not spread. In Meghalaya, we have a prevalence of 0.43%. We have about 4 ART centers, 3 ICTC mobile centers, and 32 standalone ICTC centers. And the treatments are available free of cost. We also have counseling. The government has done everything that is required. And if there is more to be done, we shall certainly do it. I will also take this opportunity to recognize the efforts of all our health workers across the state. The reason why we are facilitating so many of our health workers is because they are also one of those groups which are prone to the infection. When they are handling human blood for laboratory purposes, many times there is something called a needle prick, and that also can lead to a spread of the disease. And I salute the bravery of our frontline health workers who are continuously endeavoring to provide health services to the people of Meghalaya. And I believe these small token of love and appreciation from our side will go a long way to encourage all of you.
Another question. Meghalaya AIDS Control Society, you already know, we are organizing this. But Meghalaya AIDS Control Society works under the aegis of who? Who is our parent body? Like you work under a certain other department, so you should know actually. If you cheat properly, you'll know. If you have clear eyes, you would know. I think she stood up because I think she knows. We, Meghalaya Control Society works under the aegis of who?
Of NACO, National AIDS Control Organization.
Very smart. If you want to know your HIV status, where do you go to get yourself tested?
ICTC.
Which C?
ICTC.
You see only C and TC. Can you give me the full form of ICTC?
Integrated Counseling Testing Center.
Exactly, and we have one right now right here at the venue, which is the mobile unit, all right? So see, we encourage testing also. We cannot force HIV tests on anyone. If we're talking about unprotected sex, I don't know, you already raised your hands. I assume you already know the answer to that. So what is the answer?
Use of condom. Use of condom.
Exactly, the use of condom, which means, how many protection does a condom give? Anyone from that side?
Pregnancy, infection, and from HIV.
What sort of pregnancy?
Unwanted pregnancy. Sexually transmitted infection. HIV.
She's actually asking me. HIV. Of course it's HIV. So, protection. One